evening, everyone. It's gives me immense pleasure to welcome you on this power pack session of real estate in the heart of a city which we call home, Bhubaneswar, which is transforming in such a rapid way and rewriting the urban landscape. So before I begin with the session, I would like to ask the audience here, give me with a show of hand, how many of you have lost money in the recent equity market meltdown? Come on, show me with a raise of hand. Right? Yes, can we see some more hands? And with a show of hands, could you please tell me how many of you have actively invested in real estate? All right, I think I see quite a number of hands here. So friends, as the recent study says that, real estate is a very solid investment and it is a very stable investment. So always, be invested in real estate, and that is where this panel is going to talk about. Now, we have a very eclectic panel. We have some veterans here who have helped shape the foundation of Bhubaneswar skyline, and we have some new powerhouse, young and dynamic new age entrepreneurs who are rewriting the script of the game and doing some fantastic work here. So, and what makes this even more special is, you people, dynamic, versatile female entrepreneurs who are not only listening here, I think you're all here to also, actively invest in real estate and make a mark in this industry. So now we will dive into certain aspects of leadership, innovation, and investment that we need to do in real estate. So let's get this conversation going, just like how the great cities are built, one story at a time. So starting with Jachak Bhai, a veteran, I have known him personally for many years. He has been behind many landmark properties and diverse portfolio of real estate since last, I think, 25, 30 years. So Jachak Bhai, and we have Ashish here, who is a very dear friend of mine. Ashish, for those you who know him, he's a master salesperson. He can sell a pair of spectacles to a blind man. He's a fantastic guy and is, doing fantastic work and taken the industry by storm. Then we have Mairaj. He is a new, dynamic mind and doing fantastic work, very aggressive with his approach, and doing a very large project called One World in the city of Bhubaneswar. And then we have Preeti here, who's going to give us a very different perspective from an outsider, from a real estate association's point of view. So let's dive into real conversations and the real work behind real success. Friends, I came to Odisha, I came to Bhubaneswar about 20 years back when I joined this industry. It was a blank canvas of opportunities. And in the last 2 decades, Bhubaneswar has grown in a transformative way. So they say that Bhubaneswar is one of the fastest growing cities in India right now. So Jachak Bhai, tell me, as a first generation entrepreneur, you have seen Bhubaneswar grown from sleepy town to a smart city, right? What do you think has been the biggest turning point for city's growth?
Thank you, Sarad. And good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank INVEC for bringing such a wonderful expo. And it's really amazing. And I'm honored to be part of this panel. Before I answer Sarad, my dear friend Sarad, I will tell you, Amo Bhubaneswar is so beautiful. Anybody can fall in love at the first sight. That's why whoever coming here, they're not going away. So this making the Bhubaneswar growth much high. Yes, coming back to Sarad's question. Yes, almost I'm been in business almost 25 years. We have seen Bhubaneswar. I'm a native of Bhubaneswar also, so we have seen Bhubaneswar growing since my childhood, and when we came to business almost in late 90s and early 2000, there are huge change in growth of development of Bhubaneswar, especially in part of real estate. I cannot tell you there is one single turning point. Yes, there are turning points. There are few turning points which we can together win the changes. The very fast thing is infrastructure. Infrastructure, especially road development. As we all know, like in Bollywood industry, a single word moves around entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment. Same in real estate, that one word that takes the growth is road, and road. So road development is amazing in last 20 years, and so we have seen Bhubaneswar grown in road. That is one of the major factor of Bhubaneswar growth. Apart from that, the growth in education sector and healthcare is amazing. That makes every ODS in any corner of the country and globe wants to have a house in Bhubaneswar, home in Bhubaneswar. Again, the third point I can tell you, extremely good policies and bylaws been brought in by government of Odisha, which has given a opening of vertical development. We have never seen vertical development in 20 years back, 15 years back. But that has opened a development in vertically, which is extremely important for a developed city. And Bhubaneswar has seen that because of the fine policies and bylaws, and which now we are seeing the skylines, what Sarad was mentioning. And one more very important factor which has made the growth is RERA. RERA is Government of India's initiative. After RERA, I'll tell you, our sector has really been a wonderful sector, wonderful industries, is really transforming to a wonderful industries. Customers' trust has really gone up. That makes you, these are the four important factors. And last not the least is our all developer friends like Sarad here, Ashish, Miraz, everyone has started developing wonderful communities. The communities lifestyle, what these projects are really giving to customers and been accepted and appreciated by all the clients, has given a wonderful place to live in. So Bhubaneswar becoming more and more nice place to live in. I'm sure these are the best factors which has given Bhubaneswar a huge growth in last 20-25 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jachak Bhai. So my next question is for Ashish. Ashish, you are a part of a generation that is challenging the old norms in real estate. You are in plotted development and you're also developing an integrated township. So what inspired you to take a plunge, if you have to go back in time, to, move from a plotted development to developing an integrated township with a textile market? It's such a large development. Tell me what inspired you?
Thank you, Sharad. Sharad is a very close friend of mine and also the second best developer in the city.
The best one is Ashish here on my left.
So that's the classic way. DLF or Aparna, all of them started with plotted layout developments. And then when cash comes in, you become more aspirational. And that is when you try to do developments. So we probably follow that classic way. These companies have the advantage that they have a better grip on land and they always sit on their own lands. We have 3 more townships lined up and all of them are bigger than Grand now. So that will be launched in next 2 months. So I think it's the classic way. When somebody new comes in, he starts with layout development.
See, I told you Ashish is a perfect salesperson. He just told everyone that he's launching 3 big townships, which is bigger than Grand. Whoa.
Because he missed that.
So my next question, Maharaj, real estate is seen as a capital intensive and a dynastic industry, right? As a first generation entrepreneur, what challenges did you face in your initial journey? And what advice want to give to the young people here who want to enter or invest in real estate without a traditional backing?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sharadji. I would like to congratulate, first of all, the INVIC team for doing this large scale of event, and thank you for inviting me. About the questions you have asked, see, as an company, Acrerise, I have started with a scratch, with no family background, a very middle class family. So yes, definitely real estate is a very capital intensive things. So it was a very difficult thing to become a developer without having the capital in backup as well as the dynasty support or the parental support. So for this reason, somebody needs to be having a very long patience. So they need to first learn the thing, get the trust of the home buyer, your investor, then only you can get the access to the fund and the land, which is most important thing for a real estate development. So we started as a real estate agent, as you all know. So in this last 10 years of journey, we first learn what is real estate is, what actually the need of a buyer, what is the need of a project has to be like. So then from there we had got the trust of some investors, some landowners, and that helped us to become a developer. So this is the same thing I would like to suggest all the young people who want to be a developer, those specifically have no families backup or have no access to the funds. They first need to learn the things. They first need themselves open to educate themselves about the real estate, about the litigations management, about the nuances of the real estate things. Then they should focus how to gain the trust of their investor and other thing. And I should suggest them, they should start small. Their first step should be as smaller as possible, as less risky as possible. Then they can jump into the next stage. Thank you.
Very well said. There are a lot of insights. Start small and go as the market moves. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Preeti, my next question to you. Real estate has traditionally been a very male-dominated industry, as we all know, right? As one of the very few women in leadership position, tell us how your journey has been navigating through this male-dominated industry.
Jai Jagannath, Namaskar Odisha. How's the Josh? How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Great, thank you so much. I'm honored to be sharing the stage with the eminent real estate developers of Odisha. Heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of Women Business Mela. A special thanks to Ratanmala Madam and Preeti Madam for inviting us. And NAREDCO is delighted to be a part of this big, huge industry business mela organized by all women entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Sharadji, for a wonderful question. You asked me that what are the challenges I have faced. So I like to answer it with a quote. Like in Hindi, there's a saying, हर सफल आदमी के पीछे एक महिला का हाथ है. I would like to mention here, I've spent almost, I've been in NAREDCO for 10 years and total experience is 24 years now. Behind every successful woman, there is a man. Every successful woman is a life story of a father supporting a daughter, a husband supporting a wife, a brother supporting a sister, a friend supporting a dear friend. So it goes hand in hand. And I'm grateful to God that in my life career, of course, there are challenges, gender challenges, gender bias. I would not like to highlight that. I would rather like to mention the positive side of the coin. That I've been grateful to Almighty that wherever I have entered in the business venture, especially in NAREDCO, all our leaders, our chairperson, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, had a vision to give a platform to all the women folks, those who are contributing to the sector as an architect, designer, legal heads. And he always quotes that no one can handle the disasters better than a woman. Okay? क्योंकि हम बचपन से ही जो है हमें सिखा दिया जाता है कि वो आपत्ति वाली और जो वो विनाश वाली स्थितियों से कैसे जूझना है. So you know, a little girl in your family, if you have a daughter, I don't know how many of you have daughters at home. All right, good number. And how many of you have son? All right. So just, ask this question to your own self when you fall sick. whether you have a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old, you see the reaction. So daughter automatically, they're not only soft-hearted, they are more concerned. They have empathy. So these natural tactics come. Now coming back to the question that of course there were challenges, but the strong strength what the woman holds actually lies, and when she gets a support from her loved ones, like I mentioned. So in my success story, my father is my hero, my husband is my hero, and now my 14-year-old son is my hero. And at Naredco side, my chairperson, vice chair, and the Mahi leaders are the heroines of the picture what I'm putting up here. Thank you.
Very well said. It's actually the grit, the perseverance and the resilience that women has, I don't think men can ever match. So
Thank you.
my next segment is women's role in the real estate sector, and it's for all of you women here. Ashish, I know that you are someone who puts customer experience and community living very high on your agenda. And of course, you talk about a large customer base, which is what 2,000 odd customers, I believe. You're someone who's actually led Group G to be a customer-centric organization. So tell me, what unique perspective do you think women brings in your community living and your customer relationship management?
So as real estate developers, if we see, women use our properties more than men. They are part of our community more than men. So if it is about user case, then it's more about women. So we try and build our communities around them. And even otherwise, half the world is women. And the reason for the other half also. So they cannot be ignored. So when we design our homes, we definitely have women in mind, the kitchen, where she spends a lot of time. Then even in our communities, we have women in culture, has heads of cultural, and we're trying to bring them more in maintenance and activities like that. So yeah, women are better user.
Part of your organization. Great. So Jachak Bhai, in your organization, how have you seen the role of women evolve over the years? And what steps have you taken to ensure that they are represented in the leadership positions?
Sarad, I will tell, in my organization, all the leadership positions are being managed by women. Starting from my CFO, my HR head, my sales head, my
Give a round of applause
planner.
to him.
Everybody is women. We have seen women are extremely meticulous in their work, extremely disciplined in their work. So the result is always very good. I will tell you, we have seen women like our mother, our wife, and our friends, our members in our organization. They are extremely good in planning and managing finances and cash flow. These are the two major factors what we have seen in real estate industry. If you are good in planning and good in managing finance and cash flows, you are the best entrepreneur. So I will like to suggest all the women present here and please come forward and join this industry. This is such a nice industry. Please come more and more and join. When we are like in city of Bhubaneswar, we are blessed with the women leaders like our own Deputy CM, Pravati Parida ma'am, our own Mayor Sulochana ma'am, our Member of Parliament Aparajita ma'am, Bhubaneswar's Member of Parliament, our Urban Development Secretary Usha ma'am. So many women are part of the urban development and city development. Then you please come forward and join this industry. This is wonderful, and we can see the future of real estate is women. Thank you.
Thank you, Jachak Bhai. So Maharaj, I'm aware, like us at Utkal, I mean, I see a lot of my staff here. We kind of pay a lot of attention to women employees because they actually bring more to the table than men. A round of applause for all the women who works at Utkal's workforce. So, Maharaj, I'm aware that you are consciously hiring and working with more women-led teams, be it architects, contractors, or designers. Do you feel that women form a better workforce in real estate, and how?
So currently we are having a 41% as in whole employee strength in a whole organization as a woman. And about women, yeah, because हमारा घर भी जो चलाती हैं वो औरतें ही चलाती हैं अपनी my mother and other people who are the women in the family. So if a homemaker is a woman who can manage the home very well, so if those person come into the real estate as a business, they would be more empathetic towards the business and towards the real estate, and they can understand कि the real estate where the घर जिसको बोलते हैं उसके ecosystem में जो कुछ भी है, that would be better delivered by a woman than a man.
Totally agree.
Thank you.
Great. Preeti, my next question to you is, what are the biggest barriers still holding women back in real estate? Why don't we see a lot of women participating in real estate? And how can industry bodies like NAREDCO help remove them?
Sure. Thank you so much, Sharad ji. This is also a question which is very close to our heart, because the answer to this question is NAREDCO Mahi. So I just like to set the context. NAREDCO, National Real Estate Development Council, works under the patronage of Ministry Housing and Urban Affairs. Honorable Housing Minister is our chief patron, and we have 6 joint secretaries and additional secretaries of Housing Ministry nominated in the governing council body. And like you just mentioned, that how we can make a change and how we can involve more women folks participating in the sector. I approached my minister, the Secretary Housing, the former Secretary Housing, Shri Durga Shankar Mishra ji, and he said, yeah, FICCI has a women wing, CII and many other association, why not NAREDCO? I said, you are on the boss chair, you have to just give an order, we are waiting. He said, okay, how many women you have, to start up the wing? I said, how many of us you want? So he said, okay, you come with 10 next week and we will launch the women wing, and that's how it happened. And today, proudly, I must say that we are more than 120 in the span of 3 years, and all big-time developers. The next presentation you are going to see is from the NAREDCO Mahi's president, so she is going to throw more light on it. But having said that, involving more women will not only come from women. Like I mentioned, it goes hand in hand. So entrepreneurs like us present in this room must give a platform on the basis of the qualification and caliber, and you see that your graph will go and the businesses will rise. Because when you put faith on the basis of the qualification and the caliber, and you provide the opportunity, the women will come out with the flying colors, because she would not let you down, because for her, someone who's putting that much of effort and faith means a lot, because she doesn't get that opportunity very often. So when she gets it, she wants to prove it, because like I mentioned, we do a lot of balancing act on a daily basis. So when we get an opportunity, definitely we don't want to let it go. And apart from this, lot of strength comes from the fellow women folks also. So again, I like to quote that the chairperson NAREDCO, many people say that a woman has to support a woman. But today, by coming over here at Bhubaneswar and seeing this Women Business Mela, this is a live example that yes, we are together and we need to support each other. So using this platform, I like to request all the participants here that let's take a pledge to support each other despite of our own challenges, competition,
Give
or
a round of
whatsoever.
applause for that.
Let's support each other and let's make it big. And we should be judged on the basis of our capability, not the gender. Thank you.
Very well said. So moving on to the next segment, which is building wealth through real estate. Ashish, for someone looking to build long-term wealth, what segment of real estate offers the best returns today? Residential, commercial, rentals, plotted development, what do you think will maximize the return for an investor who wants to invest for the first time?
So that's for a long-term perspective. So they say the best investment on earth is earth. They say buy land because they don't make it anymore. So of course, if it's on a long term, only the land will appreciate. Construction never appreciates. It's like car, it will depreciate. Only the land associated with the construction appreciates. So it's for a long-term investment, of course, it's land. So that is why we are also into land
I completely agree with Ashish. And just to give you an insight from a real estate developer, we will have flying taxis or flying taxis coming in the next 5 years. So, the location won't matter anymore. Even if you have to, from here to, let's say if you are going to Patrapad or Khandagiri, it will take the same time from here to maybe a rural side of it. So the flying taxi will, reduce the commute time and the land will appreciate more than any other asset class in real estate. So mark his word, buy land if you could. Jachak bhai, how do you see luxury real estate growing in Odisha? Is there a demand for more than just homes, like branded residences, villas, or second home? Because I know you are into second homes as well. What do you think? What's the demand for an alternative asset class?
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of aspiration towards luxury gated communities, second homes, villas are really coming up. The days are gone like earlier we were trying to create homes and but now people, especially post-COVID, we are seeing a lot of aspiration towards greater, larger communities where you have lot of lifestyle, lot of amenities, and features are huge. Like people these days looking for air-conditioned flats, even air-conditioned in elevators also things have started. Lot of clubbing, gymming, fitness-centric projects, you can say lot of entertainment they want inside their complex. So people don't want to buy a home only, they want to buy a project, buy a lifestyle. So this has really, really increased. And regarding second home also, we are seeing fabulous response in second home project in Puri. We are doing a project in Puri, Royal Akyam, which we have seen huge response because people really want to spend money, go nearby places where they can go overnight and come back and spend good time. Puri is such a wonderful place. And the development coming up in Puri is huge. Jagannath Ji ka dham hai. So it's like, and even in second home, that a new concept has come, fractional sale. That's like you 10 people together buy one second home and they use it because normally second home you don't use every day. So this fractional sale model has really growing country so well. I think 30-40% increase year to year happening in fractional sale. So this is absolutely I see a very good prospect in Bhubaneswar, Puri and Cuttack, luxury real estate, larger gated communities, in all segments, gated communities and second home.
So I think there's a paucity of time. I will move to the next segment, from big ideas to fun instincts. So time for a rapid fire round. Okay. So I'll start with Preeti. Preeti, as one of the few, very few young leaders in real estate, one piece of advice, and let's keep it short, one piece of advice you would give to women in real estate.
Just one?
Yeah.
You sure only one?
Yeah, it's a rapid fire round, so you have to be quick.
All right.
One piece of advice.
Don't get affected by people's personal remark on you. You are more than what you think, and nobody has the right to judge you on the basis of their thinking.
Fantastic. If not Naredco, what alternative career would you have loved?
Social worker.
My next rapid fire question to you, Jachak bhai, a project you wish you had built.
A perfect senior citizen housing community.
Great. What's the one lesson entrepreneurship taught you that no business school ever could?
It's passion.
The fire within. Yeah. Friends, every successful person, it is not talent, it is not education, it's not intelligence, it is the fire within them that actually makes them successful. Ashish, if you had to pitch Odisha to a global investor in one sentence, what would you say?
Global investor as in someone
Yeah,
from outside.
someone outside, and if you have to pitch Odisha, if you have to sell Odisha, what would you say?
You missed Goa, you missed Gurgaon, don't miss Odisha. Odisha is humble, but its growth story is loud and proud. I think it is the fastest growing state.
It is. A habit that helped you succeed. One habit that helped you succeed. That is very personal to you.
Playing chess.
Wow. So you know the moves well in advance, huh? What to do. Well done. Miraj, a crazy risk you are glad you took.
I must say, to giving up a 5-digit salary after the college and just exploring being an entrepreneur.
Arey wah. And one word your team or your people would use to describe you as a boss.
Go-to man.
Go-to man. Wow. All right. So, any questions, audience? Please. I'll take only one question because we have a paucity of time here.
Good evening, everyone, and this has been a fantastic session. Yes, you all truly are shapers of tomorrow's landscapes, and we are proud of the projects that all of you are coming up with and the mindset with which you are reshaping the landscape of Odisha. But I would like to understand, when you are investing and promoting such huge communities, living communities, there is a compromise on the environmental side of land. And you have to create shared resources. When you're building a house or a project, there are probably 400, 500 families and houses. How does your community balance this urban field with the green field that has been removed?
I'll take that question, ma'am. So I think sustainability, environment is not it's not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. And at Utkal, we're very conscious of what we do to the environment. So, nowadays the protocols in RERA and in the development authority is very clear. We have to have, rainwater harvesting. We have to have electrical solar panels in the complex. We have to have sewage treatment plants. And the groundwater that we consume, we have to recharge the same amount of groundwater in the ground. So there are a lot of sustainable practices that as developers, I'm sure everybody adopts so that we give it back to the environment.
Because we belong to an Odisha which is green and beautiful and clean. Yes. And we are very, very happy with the kind of amenities that you all are providing, and wishing all of you very best for the future, and fantastic. Preeti ma'am, listening to inspiring words from you. Good evening.
So friends, before we wrap it up, I will leave you with a simple thought. Real estate is not about buildings, or it is not about any project. It is about an asset class that you will own and you will pass it to your next generation. There is no other investment that you can make which is going to last to the generations to come. So don't be shy. Come forward and invest in real estate, because that is something which your children will always thank you for. Thank you so much, and thank you all the panelists for giving such useful insights and sharing their experiences. And thank you to the audience who've been so nice listening to us. I'm sure you could find some value out of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharad, for wonderfully moderating a session that we all had been waiting for. Can we have a huge round of applause, please, for all the stalwarts on the stage? With this, I'd like to request our convener, INVEC, Ms. Preeti Pallavi Patnaik, to please join us on the stage for felicitating our panelist and then the moderator. Requesting the panelist and the moderator to please step forward. Well, taliyan bajti rehni chahiye. I am sure this panel was indeed very, very insightful and helpful for a lot of people who wanted to hear this moderated talk.
INVEC is about. सैलाब सा ये खून है, हम हीरे आसमान के आगे के दरिया में मिला सुकून है। दिल से हर डर को मिटाया, चालों से एक नक्शा बनाया, खुद में एक कहकशा है, हमने खुद को सत्य बनाया। एक जुनून है, सैलाब सा ये खून है, हम हीरे आसमान के आगे के दरिया में मिला सुकून है।
The panelists deserve a huge round of applause for sharing their insights, experiences, and their journey with us, ladies and gentlemen.
तेरा जज्बा तुझे जिंदा तुझे लिखना है खुद तेरा किस्सा तेरे कदमों में होगा तेरा हिस्सा तू है साथ जाओ तेरे परिंदा हमने तराशा है सुनने लायक मौका सितारा पूरा तुझे
Once again, a huge shout out and thanks to all our panelists. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate our moderator for the panel. We'd like to thank Mr. Sharad Baid for making it absolutely interactive, fun, and fascinating. Can we please have a huge round of applause for Mr. Baid? Thank you so much.